Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Road to Greatness series. Thank you for tuning in, and today I would like to start with a story. When I was growing up, my siblings and I used to fight like everyone else, and my parents would look at me and tell me that I was a bad brother, that I was a bad person, and mean people deserve to be punished. Okay, you do something wrong, there's a consequence. So the consequence that they loved, I was never really hit as a child, like the occasional slap and so what, but again, different times. So the thing that they loved to do as a form of punishment is they would get the Tabasco hot sauce in the small bottles. Typically, it would be the red one as well. And they put as much as they could fit onto a tablespoon. And four, 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old me, however old I was, would be told to eat this tablespoon of Tabasco. And I wasn't allowed to eat or drink anything else after that for 20 minutes. So that the spice and the heat would sting and hurt my mouth. And I would learn my lesson. It got to the point that my parents would carry a bottle of Tabasco with them in the car, like some gangster holstering a Glock, to keep me in line to keep me in line when we were out of the house. Now, while I was standing there with Tabasco sauce burning the inside of my mouth, the conversations I was having with myself were not very nice. I was feeling resentful towards myself, angry at myself, and it's here that I started feeding and strengthening the voice of my inner critic. Over these past 8 weeks of attaining knowledge, someone that has continued to rear their head has been my inner critic. They have the same voice as someone near and dear to me, but who has also reinforced some of the negative things I believe about myself. That I won't amount to anything, that I can't make a difference, that my life has no meaning, that I'll fail as a man, and I won't make it to this bodybuilding stage. And while all these statements may potentially have some degree of truth installed on them, I hold the belief that they are no longer my truth. Especially over the past 12 months, and more specifically these past 12 weeks, I have been fueling and reinforcing the voice of my inner advocate. I'm putting it down to 4 things. Firstly, something I've done over these past, especially over these past sort of 4 weeks, is I've been journaling once a day rather than once a week. And it doesn't need to be a 2-page thing. It might just be a few sentences. It might be half a page, but it's given me a chance to have more touch points with myself and more chances to check in with me. Sometimes a conversation I'll have with myself will be, hey man, today was a good day. Other times it might be, why did I decide to do that? What led me to believe that was a good idea? And working through those things, I've been able to understand my behavior better by being able to talk to myself a lot more in the form of a journal. The second thing I put it down to is being in a relative position of wealth. I've been very grateful that a lot of things financially have gone well for me the past couple of months, and no longer thinking about what the next bill is that I'm going to pay and thinking about what the next opportunity is that I'm going to pursue. That certainly helps with me reinforcing my inner advocate, but I believe that would sit probably 3rd or 4th on this list rather than 1st or 2nd. Going into number 3, being able to apply what I've learned instantly, or at least straight or within the next couple of days after I've done something, and using my knowledge to help others, seeing success with those people only reinforced that what I've been doing has been the right thing. And it has been nothing short of phenomenal, especially when it comes to the skills that I'm developing with hands-on manual therapy techniques, Mulligan techniques, I believe is what they're typically referred to as, what they are referred to as. And to see the benefit that it gives people, getting them out of pain, getting them moving in a way they didn't think they could. It has been such a reinforcer that I can do this. Such a reinforcer. And last but not least, putting myself in positive environments and around positive people. A lovely ism that I heard as of recent is that your ceiling is dictated by your circle, or your circle dictates your ceiling, whichever way you'd love to say that. And I believe that will always hold true. A lot of the people that I've chosen to surround myself with recently have been chasing dreams and aspirations some would call crazy. And I love them for it. I love them for it. They inspire me to be better, and they inspire me to keep going even when I feel like I can't take another step. From that team, feeding off the environment itself. While the people are great, the environment being calm and gentle and not chaotic, it having some degree of order, it has really fueled me in a way that I believe will see me thrive. And so going off those four things between journaling every day, being in a relative position of wealth, being able to apply what I've learned instantly and see some good feedback and continue applying it to see some really great success with people, surrounding myself with these people that are positive and keeping myself in a positive environment. Even with all of these things there, I doubt there will ever be a time where I am free of my inner critic. They are just as much a part of me as the advocate. But I do believe I have a choice as to who I give the microphone to, who I allow to influence my mind, my thoughts, my feelings, my emotions. It is now December of 2025. I am yet to properly reflect on this past year in preparation for the next one. But 2026 for me will be the year of the inner advocate. The year I choose to back myself. The year I choose to love myself. The year I set myself free from the grip of my inner critic and empower this inner advocate. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in. We are at the tail end of what has been 8 weeks of what I would call organized chaos between several trips to different cities, doing different mentorships and courses and retreats and everything else. It's been a really phenomenal experience, and I'm very grateful to have gone through it, albeit a little bit challenging at times. We are currently, again, Friday, first weekend of December, I believe it's the 5th, and we are starting the final 3-day retreat with FMA today. So I will give you guys a video special on that, or YouTube series special on that in the coming days. And on Monday the 8th is when we start prep. So next week we'll also kick into the first week of prep, how things are traveling and where I see things moving in the future. Thank you for tuning in again to this episode of Road to Greatness, and I cannot wait to share my experience with you all. But until then, take care, stay safe, and I'm sure that we'll talk soon. Cheers.